Channel 4. Today we are joined by a special guest, Zoey Jaylynn. She is a New England woman. So Zoey, how are you doing today?
I'm good. You doing?
Good. So let's start. So Zoey, why did you decide to move to Boston?
Well, the reason I decided to move to Boston was because I didn't want such harsh work conditions like working in the farms or working with the animals. Another reason is because I thought working in the house would be a piece of cake. I also wanted a place to go to school and get education. Here in the city, it is 1,000 times easier than in England. Another reason is I wanted somewhat of a good relationship with my neighbors or the people living in the city. Finally, there are millions of jobs to choose from, such as merchants and artisans. That is why I decided to move to Boston.
Very interesting. So what exactly is it like in the city?
Life in the city is like a giant party. We're all up to date on the latest fashions and dances. Along with being really fun, it is also easier here than it is in England. When I lived in England, I was poor and didn't have a good life. But now that I live in the city, it's easier because you can get lots of education here, and sometimes on Sundays you're not allowed to miss at all. If you're sick, if you have the flu, no matter what, you have to go to church. There's no exceptions. You just still gotta go. And the church is also our meeting place. We talk about issues that happened or are happening in the city. If you want entertainment, I highly recommend the puppet shows. People would give an arm and a leg to go see them. And if you like coffee, then you should know there's a coffee house, but only wealthy men are allowed to go inside and relax. I also heard there is a coffee house called the Sunshine Coffee House. It has coffee to die for. That is what life is like in the city.
So I was just wondering, do you have jobs?
As women, we technically have jobs. The main jobs are watching the children, cooking the meals, sewing and weaving the clothes, and keeping the house in order. Now, this might seem like simple, doesn't it seem simple? But weaving is actually quite complicated, and the children aren't always cooperative. Sometimes I get headaches because the children are as loud as a herd of elephants. Generally, I like my job. It's easy, but at the same time, it's difficult. And when I am cooking, the flames get so high, they actually burn me and sometimes leave permanent marks because the flames are as high as like literally skyscrapers. Sometimes, as a woman, we are allowed to become a milliner. In conclusion, yes, women have jobs.
So you talked about your jobs. What is your freedom like? Is there a difference between the colonies for your freedom?
Yes, there is a difference between the colonies. One difference is in New England, women do more work than in England. And the southern colonies, women have to work in the fields, take care of the house, the children, cook the meals, and keep the house in order. Though in England, women only take care of the children, it's harder and more works. But we're still not exposed to such harsh work conditions. In southern colonies, women have even less work because they have slaves on the farm. They need every worker in the fields to get enough food to survive. Those are some of the differences between the colonies.
men and women to move to Boston?
I feel people who don't think slavery is right would love it here. First, I think you would love it here because we have no slaves. Then you don't have to go to church every Sunday. Next, they let you practice almost every religion here. And if you don't believe in God, then you don't have to practice any religion. Finally, we have tons of freedom. You don't have to be like everyone else. You can be yourself. In conclusion, yes, I recommend moving to Boston.
You guys have an